Welcome to M Squared TechCast, a live interview show offering the latest news and interviews with the people driving business, technology, and politics in Michigan. Now, your hosts, Matt Roush and Mike Brennan.
Hey, it's Mike Brennan.
And Matt Roush.
And you're listening and are viewing M Squared TechCast, which is now MITech News TV. And for the first time,
It's true.
we have,
In
you can
studio.
see in the flesh, Terry Bean. You've heard the reputation. Now you can see the man. And he's going to be talking about one of his near and dear projects, which is coming up in November, the latest TEDx. What's the date on that?
It's going to be November 6th. And yeah, the whole you can see stuff, this is why I never leave my house, man. This is wrecking all of it in a heartbeat.
Well, he's wearing the sweatshirt, so I mean, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I never put my picture with my columns or anything because I don't want people to know what I look like, so they look for me at events. I can just sort of blend in, you know. So
How do you keep journalistic integrity if everybody knows who you are?
that's it. Yeah, I can't do my stuff, you know. So let's talk about TEDx. It's going to be Masonic Temple.
Masonic Temple, yeah. So hanging
Real
out.
shabby venue there, I tell you.
It's pretty cool, man. We've gotten to a point now where you run kind of low on options.
Yeah.
Right? When you're bringing 3,000 to 4,000 creatives and doers and thinkers and engineers and educators and smart people and inspiring people into one space, there's not a lot of spot.
Well, there is, but then the other options are incredibly expensive. Having produced a couple of events myself, never again. But
Never say never. No,
oh God, you have to throw a lot of money at me to go through
Dramatic foreshadowing for the next conference. Eh? There won't be one.
that. No. So
Not
are
this
you
year.
going to be in the main amphitheater area?
We're going to be in the big auditorium, man.
Okay.
That's where I saw Phantom of the Opera years ago.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, we're going to do our best to fill it back up again.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some great shots from it being full last year. So our goal is to try and double down and make that happen one more time.
What is the seating capacity there?
Just under 4,000
No
people.
kidding, that many, huh?
So yeah, it's a crew, man. It's a crew. It'll be a great time. I'm
Well, and
looking.
it's come a long way. I know the first one you had, we don't have a bell here, but I'm going to plug my
Yeah,
employer
right.
anyway,
Good
Lawrence
move.
Tech. Yeah, the very first TEDx Detroit was held in one of the little auditoriums at Lawrence Tech. Our biggest auditorium only seats about 310 people.
No,
It was
kidding.
in that one.
And that's where it was.
It was in that one, and we
No
took
kidding.
we took a good amount of chunk of space in that one too. So
Yep.
and that was
And it's only gotten bigger since. Yep.
so we're on number 11, and you just talked about number 1, right? So
yeah.
technically 09 to 19, but if you count, I guess it's 11. Seems like 10, but there's
You guys
11.
have done the Fillmore. You've done the Fox.
We have
right?
not done the Fillmore. We've done the
Thought you did
Fox.
Fillmore.
We did the DIA. We did Cobo Hall a couple of months after it opened and went live. We did the
Expensive.
Gem. We did the Max Fisher. We did the Opera House. We did Lawrence Tech University. And so I feel like I might be missing one. So, feel free to chime in, but that's the majority of them.
There's other smaller venues, but certainly 4,000. There's not too many places you can, unless you get into the Marriotts, and then even then, I don't think
I don't think the Marriott comes anywhere near that.
Yeah.
But then, it's like Little Caesars Arena, and
Right.
we'll take half a bowl. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I've
Which
heard,
is legal
I've heard you
now.
take a half a ball on a regular
this
basis.
is one of our marijuana
you know?
shows. Sorry. Yeah.
Every morning, I think you take a half a ball.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's another subject for another time.
Neither
So,
confirm nor deny that.
Okay.
So, what do you got new this year, or is it? What is there a theme? Or?
So the theme's always the same. It's always positive ideas we're spreading from Detroit, right?
Uh-huh.
So how do we inspire the rest of the world with what's going on here? We'll do the same thing that we've done in the past. We'll get a great mix of speakers. We'll get a great mix of artists. We'll get some musicians going up on stage, and it will be an absolute festival. There's TED stands for technology, entertainment, and design, right? And the belief being that those three areas are what really drive innovation in our country. So we'll have speakers representing all of those. You can go to TEDxDetroit.com. You can see a partial list of the speakers. They've been written about in the Free Press and in Court Magazine and a few other great places. So there's articles with the majority of them online right now. So I highly recommend that. There are some tickets still available, so if you're interested in coming to the event, You can get those tickets at TEDxDetroit.com.
What are we looking at? How much is a ticket?
You know, right this minute, it's either 85 or 95. If it's not 95, it'll happen soon. But it's a full day, right? Doors open at 8 with a wonderful welcoming experience. There'll be musicians and magic going on in the main auditorium.
Fire eaters.
Eaters. Literally, we had Theater Bazaar on stage last year, and the actual stage caught on fire.
No
It
kidding.
was fantastic.
It sounds like Michael Jackson concert or something, you know? So,
Hey, man, they used that whole place for like a month in October anyway, so they knew going into it what could happen. We were absolved from any of that. It wasn't a long fire. It wasn't a big fire. It was just on
a little fire. Well,
Dave Phillips was on stage last year, too. That was hot.
Well, I was going to say, and keep in mind, so your event last year was just before Theater Bazaar took the Masonic Temple over to do their thing for Theater Bazaar. This year, you're just after, because they just wrapped the second weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how rapid that cleanup happens.
Whether or not it'll still be on fire by the time we get down there.
Smoldering
It's
flame there
possible.
underneath the stage or something.
It could happen, man.
And our sponsorship, a little plug here for our sponsorship opportunities still available?
There are a couple, so if anybody wants to write us a check, we'll be happy to take that. So
It's always a wonderful thing.
Feel free.
So,
Does anyone ever actually say no to that?
Yeah,
No,
right.
no.
Sweet option.
we'll
right?
work something out. Just what do you have in mind?
Yeah,
How much
How
can
many
you spend?
zeros should I write on this? It would be great. Yeah, that's a good conversation starter. So we're always happy to take some extra cash in for that and promote the people. I mean, we've got tremendous reach. Last year when we were doing this, the Foo Fighters were in town at Little Caesars Arena like a week or two after we are. We had more people interested in or going to our event on Facebook events
Than the Foo
Fighters did.
Well, they've been around for a long time. So.
We do a decent job with the promotion, man.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you from my own perspective. I mean, like you said, I was up on stage with Bob last year, and the social media attention, tags, follows, and everything else we got immediately following that, and for up to like a week after, it was ridiculous. I mean, it was amazing, but it was ridiculous.
It's a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
It's like the most impressive, and especially if you feel compelled to respond to people and thank people, you're like, oh, crap, there goes sleep for the next week.
Heart like, heart like, heart like. Thank you, like heart. Yeah.
Great to see you too. Thanks for the beer. Yeah, Temple Bar rules. Speaking of plugs. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I know we've had this conversation before. You used to provide food, you don't, but there'll be options for people to eat because you can't go all day long without eating, right?
Yeah, and that is the downside, right? It's really hard to feed 4,000 people and take care of
when
that
you want to
catering.
think about that. Oh, my God.
So there'll be food trucks coming
There's a
in.
parable about that somewhere.
That sounds like a hell of a story.
Fish and loaves of bread and stuff like that. But, I mean, you know, he has a lot of messianic complexes, but not that one.
That's
So.
it.
Okay.
Not that one. So we'll have food trucks. Founders is right across the street out the back door. Detroit Shipping Company already knows that we're going to be sending people.
And you got to have a
their
lot of
way.
liquor for a crowd like that.
Well, it's a 2-drink minimum.
I mean,
What can
Bob
I
and
tell you?
Dave alone. I mean, yeah. So, Temple Bar is just down the street, though, right?
That's where we did our pre-talk preparation.
Oh, of course.
Was over at Temple, which
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
actually, if you go to the video, if you go to, you can search for TEDx Detroit. I believe it's Beer and Networking. I think it was called.
Sounds
or the
about right.
Accidental Entrepreneur. Like I think about 10 seconds in, I said, "Hey, where's our Temple Bar peeps at?" And there was a huge
I'll
scream
bet.
from the crowd.
Yeah.
Our PR lady was not amused that that's where she found us. But it was
She
phenomenal.
doesn't know you guys very well.
She does now.
She does
okay,
now.
all right.
It's a whole new relationship.
I was going to say I have heard over the years that TED talkers advise practicing their spiel 50 times. I'm betting. Did you do that? I'm betting.
50 times?
It's past now. So no, we literally wrote the outline the night before and fleshed it out sitting over at Temple Bar right before we went on stage.
See, I asked that question not knowing
Although
the answer, but I kind of knew the answer.
We had slides. Our slides were in on time.
They had
we
slides.
Knew, We knew what we wanted our slides to be. We just didn't necessarily have the talking points to go along with the slides.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Lots of pictures, little words.
Yeah.
Until they actually got
These
on
guys
stage.
winging it. Do you believe that? Because they're always so organized on IT and the D. You know,
Would have
so.
never guessed. Oh, faint. Feel
It's all
me now.
scripted out. Don't believe the thing that they're just winging it. It's all scripted out.
In my defense, because we ran horribly long, and what wound up happening is because we get told, hey, you've got 7 minutes, go. Well, we're getting ready to walk out on stage, and Bob says, hey, and there's this giant digital clock, like countdown thing. And he's like, I am not going to be able to look at that because it's going to make me lock up. And I was like, okay, I'll keep an eye on it, but that means you have to follow my cues. You can see over the course of I believe it was close to 13 minutes that we went, the number of times that I am trying to rein Bob in and move us along because I know. And then in our defense, we just kind of went with, well, you didn't tell us it wasn't 7 minutes each.
We took the aggregate
the conference
of the
organizers are all going, everything is sliding now, you know.
Well, you know, it's like if we didn't expect it, then shame on us. It's not like we haven't met these guys before. Right? And the reality is, ultimately, what you want is a fantastic experience. The audience was into it. They brought up good points. They had a ton of fun. And what are you going to do? How do you stop that? That's the hardest part.
So who are give us an idea who some of the speakers are this year.
Oh, man. Are you going to really put me on the spot?
Is.
Go ahead.
Off the top of my head, Rob Paulson.
Rob Paulson is going to be here
Rob
for sure.
is hands down one of the best interviews we've ever done on IT and the D. He is the voice of every cartoon character that you love from the 90s.
Oh, my God. Seriously?
The Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. He is such
Teenage
a
Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Transformers.
those guys. Jimmy Neutron.
Smurfs and Snorks. And I mean,
does he talk in all those?
He absolutely does.
And he will.
And he's such a smart guy too. And so just sitting down and like we talked with him at Motor City Comic Con 2 years ago.
And he's from Detroit, or
he is.
He's from Detroit, living in LA.
Yeah. Okay, all right, cool.
Nicole Curtis, right? Rehab addict. She's going to be there, so she'll be kind of fun. We've got a couple of scientists coming in that are doing some water stuff. We've got some great technology guys. A gentleman named Swami
Kilpatrick?
Kotagiri.
No,
Swami, man.
I
Way
want
to
that
go.
name for a band. Swami Kilpatrick.
Swami Kilpatrick. That just happened. Well, I sure hope.
Now appearing at Temple Bar. Swami Kilpatrick.
I sure hope none of his people are listening.
And for those of you looking for a Halloween costume idea last minute.
Yeah, there you go.
How would you combine
that's
those?
a classic.
I just found my Halloween costume. Who knew? Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we've got Brian Calley, who's the president of the Small Business Association of Michigan.
Okay.
So we've got some
Lieutenant Governor, by the way.
Yes, indeed. This dude, Shaka Sangor, who was in prison for a few years and wrongly accused, coming out. We got a young lady who is the first African-American woman to be in every country on the planet. She's going to come out and tell her story.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Like 102. No, it's like 200 of those countries.
Shit's a mess, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to hear how that goes.
Some of them aren't easy to get into or out of either.
And
who
she
would want
made it
to,
back.
right? Yeah, North Korea immediately comes to mind. We got about a minute left, so this is the shameless plug time. So go ahead and lay it out. How do they get more information?
So TEDx Detroit, November 6th, Masonic Temple. Go to TEDxDetroit.com or follow us on Facebook, right? That's probably the easiest place to find all the most up-to-date information. Listen, if there's anything I can tell you, it's an absolute festival for the mind, for the body, for the soul. You're going to see things on stage that you probably haven't seen before that are going to just pique your curiosity. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll ride every emotional wave that's possibly available, and you'll be so glad you made the time to join us on November 6th.
What a way to end. What a pitch, man.
All right.
Terry Bean.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, fellas. It's
All
always a
right.
pleasure. Congrats on the new studio. This is pretty
Traditional
cool.
Four-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life. But LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs, too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.